Vikram, it's great to see you here today. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Rebecca?
Yeah,
Looks like a great morning today.
yeah. Well, I'm early morning, so I've got my coffee, and you're in India. And what's it like
Yes.
there today? Is it nice and warm? Go
Yeah.
on, tell me. Yes, just
Okay.
yes. Have you had a good day? Have you had a good day so far?
Yes, yes. It was a great date so far.
Good, good, good. Well, hopefully this will be fun, and we're going to learn all about data analytics. There's a lot of different sort of language in the marketplace, but we've got digital transformation, analytics, we've got AI, and I do wonder whether people get quite confused between the sort of what they actually mean and the differences. So, could you talk to me about what data analytics actually means, and why should leaders care about it? Why should business leaders care about it?
So, Rebecca, if I have to kind of put it in an analogy, data analytics is more of, switching headlights while you are driving at night. Okay. So you can, without it, you can still make it to your destination. You'll be slower and you'll get more surprises. But with it, I think you reach your destination faster and with more precision. So in my opinion, analytics is more about getting the story which is there in the data, right? And using it for your business decisions.
Oh, that's a really good description. I like that very much. So, how's the role of data analytics changed in recent years? Because everything's moving so quickly now. How has data changed?
So I think if I continue the same analogy, earlier it was more of a rear view mirror. Okay, it told you what happened in past. Now what is happening is it's more like a GPS. It tells you what to do next, and it also tells you when to change directions. So it takes you to your destination much faster with the abilities of AI and machine learning. I think the decision making has become very very dynamic.
That's exciting, isn't it? It must be so much more exciting for business leaders to see you be able to use that evidence, sort of looking ahead. And so, is that what made it such a critical part now of what is digital transformation? The whole sort of view of digital transformation is based on getting those analytics right.
Digital transformation is creating a lot of data everywhere, okay, be it applications, machines, websites, with customers, with employees. So there is a lot of data which is getting created because of the digital. And analytics, in my opinion, works more as a translator of that data. Okay, so without that, it is more of a noise, and with it becomes insight. So I personally feel digital alone may not add the value. Digital along with analytics is what bring value to the table.
Oh, that's a really interesting way of looking at it because I know there's quite a lot of businesses that aren't looking so much at the data and are just looking at the sort of digital transformation using AI. So, how do you best get analytics and digital transformation to work together to help companies compete? Because it is that integration, isn't it? And I see that so separate on so many occasions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We cannot look at it in silos. So digital transformation it makes you move faster. It brings automation. It, smooths certain processes, and analytics makes you more wiser or smarter. And in my opinion, speed without intelligence will be very risky, and intelligence without speed is opportunity lost. So I think both these aspects, the digital transformation and analytics, they go hand in hand, and they produce extremely impactful results if they are balanced very beautifully.
So, do you think it's important to get the analytics sorted first before you look at your digitalization?
uh, I think working on the underlying processes and the data foundations is what should be the first step, even before when we are looking at analytics or even digital transformation.
So, what kind of mindset do you need to have to really build a data driven organization? So, for example, I'm a creative, as you can probably tell from doing this. So, do I have the right mindset? I guess is the question. Well, what sort of businesses, how do they respond to changing the way they look at things? How do you do that best?
So if I look at the traditional way of operating, the mindset that I see is you need to be more a mindset of scientist rather than a judge. Okay, you need to be more curious, you need to be more open and willing to be surprised. Because when you're going through this kind of digital transformation and data-driven campaigns within your organization, you are bound to come across surprises because data will reveal certain things which otherwise is hidden, right? So I believe leaders don't need to know all the answers. What they need is ask better questions and open to accept the fact which is given by data. I think that is what you need as a mindset change. It is not important what you feel, but it is important what is there at the ground.
Yeah, it's actually reading the data and not thinking that you want to do something particular, but you've got to look at the data and check it backs it up, don't you? And really be sure of that. So yeah, there must be some really big mistakes that you've seen going out to businesses where people have got this really wrong in terms of their analytics initiatives. So I'm just being nosy now. I want to know about the mistakes. What have you seen in the marketplace?
Okay, so if I have to put it, I think buying fancy tools and calling it transformation is a common mistake I've seen people making over there, making dashboards that nobody uses. That is what I think should be avoided, definitely. You cannot fix the broken processes with automation or data. So, working on the underlying business processes and enhancing that with data is what is required. See, analytics cannot replace thinking, right? Thinking has to be there. At the most, what it can do is it can sharpen it further. So, working on your underlying business processes is very critical, and that is where most of the companies or initiatives are getting failed.
It's good to know that we still need humans to think. So that's still reassuring at the moment. I'm interested in that you said that people had built systems that just never got used. And I think there's some fear of change in that. Some people aren't very good at changing their everyday habits. And sometimes it's just resistance to, I mean, that resistance sounds very calculated, but I think sometimes it's another job, isn't it? It's something else to
Correct.
have to learn, something else to do. So, how do you overcome that in the workplace if you want to introduce these new digitalized systems with great data? How do you get people to start to use them regularly?
See, if we look at the resistance more carefully, okay, so people resist the rules, not the results. Okay, so if we keep on selling analytics or automation as a rule or control, it will get resistance. What we have to sell it as a convenience, not control. Okay, the moment people understand there is a value in it and it reduces their efforts and makes them more efficient or optimize their days, they will follow. And if we put it as a governance structure and you have to follow this by this date and all that, it won't. That because that is the typical mistake we do with change management. But I think look at it more as a convenience and not as a control.
Oh, I think that's a very, very good point. And nobody likes to be controlled. so, one of the other things that we can't really avoid is the AI issue, which we've sort of um, made a mention to really as we've gone through this without actually mentioning it. But what do you think is the most exciting thing about generative AI in terms of analytics and very specifically about analytics right now?
If I look at it, I think the most exciting thing is the tech is speaking human language now. Okay, you can interact with the technology, with the data in human language, and it democratizes the intelligence now. It brings that power to everybody, every leader. You don't need to be an analyst. So I think that is the most exciting thing that I am looking at generative AI, that it can speak human language now.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It still really shocks me when you see things on the news and the robotics that are now coming in. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. So, with all these amazing advancements that are going on, how on earth do you prepare for the future of analytics and AI? I mean, I don't even know how we can foresee what's going to come next. So, how do you get the right systems in place to allow you to grab at the new things as they come along?
So I think I mean, very complex question, I would say. But I would suggest start trusting the data and investing in data, because having clean and robust data is the base for any analytics and any future campaign around analytics. The second one is build the ethical guardrails. And once these framework is in place, I think what is also needed is training the leaders, not just the teams, because we are actually going through a paradigm shift in terms of mindset, in terms of the way we operate, in terms of the processes which are going to be there in the in day-to-day life. So the mindset change at the topmost level is also important. So if we look at these two, three areas, data as a foundation, putting the ethical framework around it, and mindset change on the management level, these are the areas where we'll have to invest significantly to embrace the upcoming exciting era of analytics.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, if you could give just one piece of advice to a leader, a business leader sitting there thinking, well, where on earth do I start with data? Where do I begin with my data? What would you say to them?
Okay, so I would think, don't aim to become data driven. What you need to become is decision driven. So pick one decision, improve it with data, and then repeat.
That's a really good piece of advice. That's an excellent piece of advice. Rather than going on the old gut instinct, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs particularly do, don't they? So that's great. Thank you so much, Vikram. That's been really interesting today, and I'm sure everybody's appreciated your input on this topic. So thank you. So have a great day.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It was a pleasure discussing with you. Thank you.